Good morning. All righty. So the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, back to the top of the range in this yo-yo market. And so we've been in this trading range here for, I guess it's going to be a month, going back and forth. And, with all the news that has come out, negative news, big down days, and I don't know how positive the news was, but now it's like now there's new news on China as to some positive comments. And so here we have the markets gapping up, well, the Dow gapping up a couple hundred points to the top of the range. So, and this is the diamonds, the ETF. And so just normal, no thought for us is, well, we've gone from near the bottom of the range up to the top of the range. Can it get out of the top of the range, or are we just going back down to the middle of the range, then to the bottom of the range, and so on? So I think at the end of this week, which obviously is tomorrow, by the end of the day, I think if, just normal thinking about, the patterns that we focus on, if we were to get a green candle that's closing at the top, or can you imagine even above the high of last week's high, we have to believe that it's going higher. I mean, otherwise we are, what's the right word here? Kind of like really in a greater amount of insanity than we already are dealing with here, with this kind of overlapping bars and this pattern of indecision and uncertainty, which is what it is. So if you are wondering what indecision looks like, capture a picture of this and put it in your scrapbook, because that's the perfect picture. And we've seen it in the past over the years, but it hasn't been so news driven day to day as this one has, where, people are monitoring tweets intraday and what news comes out. So at this point, we'll just see what the reaction is to the top of the range. We'll take a look at some other markets to see what they're doing. Last I looked, the Dow was the one that has already moved up to the top of the range. So kind of close the void, if you will, with the next part up here. And you see that it's stalled. But we'll look at the futures. We always get a clearer view on the futures since they're trading more actively than the ETF. And I look at the ETF since many are trading them as well and looking at those reference points. Spiders up at 292, beginning to back off a little bit. And you can see the top of the range is up there near 293, 94. I guess 294, right? So 291, 50. Right here. So there isn't much room in the kind of in the middle of no man's land. It certainly could go up to attack that, but we have to expect that there's going to be sellers there since it's really moved. Yes, the move started yesterday. Things shut off, gap up, and it gets to the top where sellers are going to show up for sure. And what can they do there? Meaning, can they take control? Are they going to drive it back down? And that's what we're dealing with here. And in a range like that, what's a decision? Sell it short up there with the appropriate pattern. The assumption is that the same thing will happen again until it doesn't. Now, can it be this time different and it breaks out? Sure. I mean, then we'll just look at the intraday patterns to see what they're telling us at that time. Do we get a short setup that fails and reverses back up again? That would be an indication that buyers are continuing to set up and increase the odds of breaking out of this range. So, but until proven otherwise, I mean, I'm going to assume that sellers are going to show up here and try and drive it back down. And as we all do, we'll see what, as bonds are down here a bit here, we'll take a look at that. We'll see what they're doing in the middle of the day and look for these intermarket relationships, as explained yesterday, that can give us insights as to, is it going to break out this time, or is it just the same old where it's going to be driven back down again? So we'll see. It's as similar as, let's just say stocks are in an uptrend and they pull back to support. We make an assumption that those buyers at support are going to be able to push it above the old high and make a higher high, because that's what happens in an uptrend. So while we don't know for sure what's going to happen when we take a position, we do make assumptions based on historical price patterns. So when I said if today we were to get a green bar closing up near the high or possibly above the high of the red bar, we've got a consolidation for a month. We've got what we call a red bar ignored and then a 180 reversal. And I want to see how deep this gets into this red bar and close into it. And if it's a strong green bar, I don't know that it'll be as big as this, but if it is, absolutely, we have to be going with looking for prices to push at least up to this high. And because it's in an uptrend, we make the assumption it's going to make new highs. And we'll see how it all unfolds at the end of the week. In the smaller time frame, we've just got this schizophrenic picture of uncertainty and neurotic price action. That is based on what's happening in the news day to day. Qs, we know it's going to be a similar situation because that's the way things have been. So nothing really more than I can add to this from what I've already said, because we've been talking about the similarity between these different markets with the patterns that they're forming. The Russell has been weaker, as has been the transports, and we had this little peekaboo under the bottom of the base. And actually 2 days ago, kind of went down there and closed lower and looked like down, and it was like, oh no, hold on here, gap down, no follow through, grab the shorts by the neck and rip them right back up, back here. So it's up here a little bit, actually clearing these highs, and it's got an intraday void where prices can move up, and see things are backing off here a little bit, but the trend is down here. It held that line in the sand on the weekly, where it was ready to fall off the cliff and move lower here. So same story. By the end of the day tomorrow, can this narrow-bodied small tail bar here be a green bar closing up near the highs? So we shall see. Transports had a good day yesterday, and that really needed to happen for the bullish case to stay intact there. So we had transports have a great day. The Russell had a decent day. It held its line in the sand, as did the transport. So we're still, can it really do it here? And it's been trying for several weeks. And we'll see. Still in a downtrend. Can this attack the top of the range? So we like to see these different markets moving together, in confirmation. And that's when we have the greatest odds. Now, it doesn't mean the spiders and the Qs can't make new all-time highs and the transports kind of lagging along, gimping its way, trying to get up there. But so we'll just see how that all goes. Looking at the futures, the Russell, you can see, is poking up within its downtrend. Be a decent pattern with the new low reversal down there. We'll see if it can hold on to the gain or even a greater gain. Here's your Dow, all the way almost to the top of the range already. And so we're going to see if buyers are going to show up there. There's a little bit more room up to the top, so we'll see if it can get there. The NQs, here we have what's actually happening in the moment. You can see it's got some room to get up toward the top of the range there, and just kind of drifting back a little bit. That kind of a pullback is actually bullish. And there you can see on the 5-minute what that looks like as we take an X-ray into there, where it's pulled back, tail bar, retest, buyers step up again looking for it to move higher. So the expectation is, because of this strength, buy the pullbacks to support and see where it all goes. If it can continue and get up into this area there. S&Ps, same story. Top, getting close to the top of the range. Let's see if it can keep going here. We got a green bar forming on the weekly. So we've got a little bit of room before we can get there toward that top of the range there. So a little mini baby void there, about 20 points to get up into that area if it can do it. So that's what we'll be seeing for. We don't have a lot of room, and certainly this could, not make it and pull back. So if, for example, this support, which is the same what I showed you, it's not what I wanted anyway. We'll make do. We've got that area there. If this was to fail and break down at that point, well, hey, now we've got some resistance here to deal with intraday. So, trading over the last month and I guess the last few days with the news and this range and such, it's kind of, it has been more difficult, and it requires more brain power if you want to try and participate here. So as with other times when markets are trending, things pull back to support and buyers show up and back up again. We're not in, when they say we're not in Kansas anymore, but it'll be resolved sooner or later. Oil, just kind of hanging out there at the top of its range. So we'll see what that does. It's stalled here, kind of an overall a mess like everything else. Bonds backing off a little bit, but it's really nothing all that, big of a move to get excited about, to say, hey, bonds are finally pulling back a decent amount here, and that's going to be supportive of equities going higher. So this up day here today isn't anything to suggest the coast is all clear for longs, not by any means, because, while this has had a decent run, it's getting closer to this resistance area up there, this price resistance to the left. We're in that 170 area, and it's a whole number. Bond buyers aren't really backing off very much. So still strong, still in an uptrend. It's stalled at the prior high, but the overall bullish uptrend. Gold, still strong. Just kind of jiggling around over here, just kind of waiting. So, the gold buyers aren't running for the hills either. That looks good. And it's got this big void. I think that 1600 area probably be the big stiff resistance if it can poke its way up there as the next big whole number. And silver, which was kind of lagging a little bit, and had this great run over the last several days, and actually partially cleared anyway, this resistance. But just take note on the weekly time frame that this is a wide range bar, and as I've always said before, wide range bars or a momentum move in a smaller time frame that create price voids, right? Meaning a void in this case of support. In addition, you've got a wide range bar here. That's what we call it, igniting bar, that starts a move. And this is potentially a wide range bar that ends the move. So just be aware of that if you're thinking of jumping on board silver or a silver ETF or a silver stock here. These may actually slow down in their upward momentum, tomorrow, if not next week. So just keep that in mind. And as you can see here along the bottom, there's lots of green as to things that are moving up. And so I will hand that off to Dan to review some of these in open positions. And we'll get on with our day.
All right, good morning. Yeah, we have only one open position in the weekly. We had Tesla call spread that got met our 10-cent target. We had a way out of the money call spread. We sold for $1.19 and we closed it at a dime. So that was a picture perfect credit spread. The only open now is Amazon, and I just sent out an alert making it the tighter of yesterday's lower break even. But even yesterday's low now with 1 day to expiration should be at a profit. Opens here, alphabetical AEM. You know, they're gonna be weaker with stronger market. They kind of have that inverse relationship. And secondly, we legged into covered calls on our 2 gold stocks, so that was perfect timing. Okato Kalen here, we're long stock, added on the 1, 2, 3. That looks great. CNC, we have a call spread, and I tighten the stop. So, but it's already a 2/3 profit. So even with a stop out, that one's fine. CNQ is a short and it's on probation. So I will be tightening stop on that today. Camels, deeper tracement, but price void. We have a covered call and we plan on holding through earnings. EDU put spread looks great. Tighten the stop yesterday. Ego. We have a debit spread. Oh no, same with AEM. Those are both debit spreads. So we're already getting the positive time decay. I tighten stop on both. EWBC, we're short stock. He's on probation also with the beautiful short and 2-bar reversal. FLT put spread, finally got our reversal yesterday. We might start thinking about adding now. GNRC covered call, looks fantastic. Now the old goose, we've tightened the stop. We're short stock. It was relative weakness yesterday. You could actually add under yesterday's low. That's terrific relative weakness. KBH, we sold, you know, right at the dead low yesterday. That was our intent, to sell put spreads. It's a breakout daily, weekly, monthly, and we sold the put spread yesterday. Millennium put spread looks fine. PVG long stock, that's an add over the week's high. RNG put spread. So we had a lot of opens. Starbucks, we're long stock, gapping up here, looks great. SRC long stock. TDC short stock, relative weakness again. I tighten the stop. That looks great. Vert, we're short stock, and you know, with financials and the market holding, we'll just let that one play out, keep our stop. Finally, whiskey, it's a core long, and that looks great. So we got 1 or 2 shorts on probation, but everything else looks fantastic. Gappers here now. MBUU earnings, 28 bucks. That's a double bottom in a downtrend. 30-minute high, put spread candidate. Sierra Yankee, 1475 bearish gap. Hey, quick, anyone, what type with the gap down here? If it can just bobble around, what type of option trade do you recommend? You know, I'd say bobble around because not if it, you know, well, close, a condor. But yes, we could sell an out of the money credit spread, a call spread, out of the money put spread, but I need to see the morning action. But now it's definite sideways range bound. NTNX 24 and change, it's a big gap excessive. We'll come back to it. This looks like an ADR gapping down 1350. Wow, that's getting its head chopped off. But it looks like an ADR, so I got no interest. ARCI looks like a penny stock pump and dumper. Look at this, 2-day pump and dump. Now it's back up here to 5 and change. Maybe he got the pump press going again this morning. Zuo 15 and change. It's a bullish gap, but I don't like the way it trades. It's a mess. Yeah, I'm always into pruning my watch list here, so I don't have too much to look at. SMTC, I can't tell where you're opening. Octa 132. This is actually another credit, another Condor candidate. Look at all this support at 1 1/4, all this resistance at 140. 87.50. It's a bullish gap, 30-minute high. Put spread candidate, box. That's a bear flag right here. Look at that flagpole. That's a now it's gapping here under 13. I'll put that in a list. The old box for the old bear flag, both as a directional and a call spread at earnings. So I favor selling options. This is opening up flat, but it's in a downtrend. It looks lower. So this is a call spread candidate. TD call spread candidate. Old Herb, 25.55. So it's a bearish gap under this, but it's approaching this prior pivot, but it's weak. GEF, I can't tell where you're gapping. MTRX, 1950, you're gapping in no man's land. We'll come back to you. A lot of retail earnings today. Williams Sonoma, 67.50. So that's here. No pattern. You know, I'm looking for tier ones. Tilius, 950. So that's a bullish gap, but it's a mess. PVH, 75.80. Oh, it's the one I like the best so far. Look, we got a double bottom. It's gapping right. Well, I'd prefer it if it were gap, you know, ideally to 74, but it's gapping to 76. It's bullish pre-market. That's a definite put spread candidate. Oh, how did I miss Goldman Sachs? We had Goldman as a put spread yesterday in the weekly. How did I miss that? Oh, I just looked right over it, but it's in the spreadsheet. But Goldman looks fine. And actually a few that we were looking at into the close. Home Depot looks great. LOW I'm watching. Coke I liked. Breakout here. UPS, maybe a put spread for next week, but it was not very juicy. Dish we were looking at. Yeah, that's a bottoming pattern. It's actually, look at this 15 was actually a late day breakout setup, even though it didn't trigger. So I'm gonna put Dish on my list for today. Oh, we also had KTOS. Oh no, KTOS, I said you can buy today over yesterday's high. So that's why that's not in the open list yet. SCVL, it's moving up here, but I don't like the daily. I'm deleting you. Guess another retail, 1750. It's a bullish but excessive gap. 128. It's a bullish but no price void. SAFM 135. Bearish. Another Condor setup, depending on what it does. You know, we could sell the 130s, 148s. We'll come back to that. I'm going fast here because we only have 2 minutes. PIDCO, I can't tell where you're opening, but that's a nasty downtrend, all time frames. But hypothetically, if it were to gap right here, 1780, and take out a 5, 10, 15-minute high, then my target would be 1950. MEI, there's not enough volume, so I really can't tell if it's gapping there or not. MBUU, we already looked at. BBW, 350, still in a downtrend, but it's perking. You've got to be careful fighting those nasty downtrends unless there's a better shock component. 90.50, gap into resistance. Titan, 1575, that's a bearish gap, but it's at this prior low. But that has room to fall. So there's a bearish one. Hain, 19 bucks. Maybe a day trade. I don't like fighting these wide range bars for swings, but you know, maybe 15-minute high for a day trade. DBI bottoming pattern, 30-minute high, maybe put spread, GMS. I like this one. Look, I like these two bars, trading range, breakdown failure. Beautiful weekly and monthly price void. This one I like. That's a beauty. Let's 5-minute high. Alex, that makes no sense to me. Greg, can you verify put call? That makes absolutely no sense in a big market gap up. I've never seen that in my life, if that were true. Yesterday was strong and we're gapping up. All right, that's what I just gave our subscribers. Dollar Tree, a beautiful put spread candidate. McGraw, if you want to check that one out for us. ANF, gap down, but buyers are stepping up, so doing nothing. Dollar General, wow, that's a big gap. Same with Burl. Wow, remember, oh, Greg mentioned this on this day. On 8/22, Greg mentioned that. All right, PVH is a put spread idea. Your Pfizer over the high, I like. Dish looks higher. I mean, he burned me before, but you know what? Let's buy Dish right here. Stop yesterday's low. I'm still going through these. Disney, a no-brainer put spread. Yesterday's low was 133.50. Now I'm going right up to next week because I know we're going to get absolutely nothing. Only 24 by 34. That is pitiless. Ollie got his clock clean today. BBY also. That's a call spread candidate. High 69 bucks. Next week, 69. Oh, wonderful. 17 by 53. But we'll keep an eye on it for short. Yeah, all the things are moving. We have a Tesla, but well, no, Tesla we're already out of, and now Tesla, nah, I wouldn't do Amazon is much better. Let's do a put spread on Amazon now for next week. The low is 1744. Or you know what? We can still do one for tomorrow, a tighter one. Yeah, I like this. 1740. Yeah, 60 cents. Let's do it. Google also for next week. Low 1155. Well, no, the 1152.50, 1142.50, $1. Perfect. Yeah, spider's right at the top of the range, so I'm doing nothing there. Diamonds, as Greg said, if we close like this and then just chop around a little bit today, tomorrow, and then Monday, take out the high of today or tomorrow, then we look higher. PVH coming in, so now that I got no interest on him. Looking at our golds, you know, I'm sorry, looking at opens. Our golds are coming in, but I tightened stop, so there's nothing to do there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you know what I mean, Tuesday. And Starbucks, RNG, GNRC. Nice, nice GNRC. Look at you go. I'm gonna tighten the stop on you even more now. 75.58. All right, Goose, I tightened the stop. And so we're out on that, put a profit. FLT, I tightened stop yesterday. Okay. Wow, let's see, like a Home Depot would have been nice if we took half risk yesterday. Same with low INGRs. That was on my short list if it was a 1, 2, 3, but now it's coming off the list. Hey, remember FTNT? Yesterday I said if it stayed weak, that's nice relative weakness. All right, box. I got no interest anymore to short. ESTC, still worth watching. I'm just going to prune here a little bit. Octa would be a Condor candidate only for tomorrow. Let me take a look. All right, Evan, give me 2 seconds. I'll look at those. Octa for tomorrow. Hey, it's very juicy. I think I got ourselves a trade on our hands. No, right, Octa. Hey, KJ, your drop down, please. All right, Octa's going right here. As soon as he gives us a reversal bar on the intraday, let's do the 123, 117, and let's see what a call spread would be. The 139, there's no juice on the upside, so it's just going to be a put spread only. But let's wait for a 5-minute reversal, and then it's going to be the 123, 117. But I'll keep one eye on it, on that reversal. Evan, SPLK. Yeah, it is weak, but it's far from the 20. Yeah, see, Robert, that's why I I give the fast as I can one and then come back and clean it up. And but Google, yeah, Google dropped. It was $1 when I was typing it, and then it was 95 when I the alert finally went out. FTNT, yeah, I like this one as a short. FEYE, nah, it's a trading range. Pan W, it's a mess. The call spread though, Octa, Pan W is a short-term call spread candidate. And Zulu Sierra. All right, thanks, Clint. Zulu Sierra call spread candidate, but in terms of a directional, I like Octa the best. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. Which one did I say? What did I just say? You know what I'm talking about. Yes, thank you. This I like as a directional short. Ah, man, my GMS. I had that in a window. I said 5-minute high, darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Look, 5-minute high. We would have been up 87 cents already. Oh, I'm pissed now. Why didn't somebody say something? Damn, GMS. That's why we need teamwork. And I even I sent a text alert. So I hope, man. See the problem? Well, look, I had it right here.